Hi everybody, Honest John here. I want to start off by offering my condolences to the family, friends, loved ones, and fans of Paul Mooney, a legendary comedian. I have to admit I was intimidated when I first met Paul. He was already a legend, and I was just starting out. And Paul's comedy was, I guess the best word for it would be scathing. He didn't pull his punches when it came to telling white people where things were at in the United States for black people. A lot of what Paul was talking about as part of his comedy act is now being discussed very seriously by the pundits on the news and politicians and at Black Lives Matter protests across the country. Paul was absolutely fearless. He didn't care if some white people might be offended by what he had to say. He was too busy telling his truth. But despite the seriousness that was at the core of his act, he was hilarious. Now, at that time, there were hardly any white comics doing the black clubs. So I had some apprehension about how he might react to a middle-aged white guy hanging out at the Comedy Act Theater or Maverick's Flat, legendary black comedy clubs that were obviously his turf and not mine. But Paul was gracious, friendly, and supportive. He even, every now and then, gave me very valuable advice which helped make me a better comic. And he always encouraged me. Now, maybe Paul could have made more money and achieved more fame if he had toned down the social commentary and just used his brilliance to create funny jokes. But that was never going to happen. It was just not in Paul Mooney's DNA to ease up. To him, the whole purpose of his comedy was to speak his truth. He wasn't talking about injustice and racism to get laughs. He was getting laughs to talk about those issues. Now, I'm not going to put any other comics down, but it's a fact that many of us, even those who are pretty famous, well, once we're gone, we'll fade into obscurity. But Paul Mooney, he'll be remembered forever. Thanks for listening.